Our beacon of hope is veteran primary school teacher Rosa Salke, who is shown there standing at her residence, which was among 3 heavily flooded in a section of Mandeville, Manchester, during the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
Look at the good part. How can you move? How can you get out? Don't think about, oh, I'm going to drown or I might die or this might happen. No.
The educator, as well as 6 other persons, was trapped inside the rented house in which she has been living for 7 years. While others were panicking, she took control of the situation and eventually made what turned out to be a life-saving emergency call to the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
All around here was just water. Everywhere was just water. So no one could really jump because then it would be too deep. We're talking about maybe 10, 11 feet, 12 in some areas because of how the landscape is. So some parts where we had were higher than others. Part that we could probably step off in was not near to our reach.
That video you are now looking at was captured after the floodwaters receded. It gives a clearer idea of the depth of the flooding. The water level had reached almost halfway up the grill shown there at the teacher's house on the right of your screen. If you look closely at the wall, you can actually see the watermark that's left behind. On the left of the teacher's residence is one of the 2 houses that were flooded up to their roofs. The man who lives there disclosed that his family stayed in a motor car throughout the killer storm. And the other house, that pink one, is the residence of an elderly man, Liebert Campbell, who had opted to ride out the storm with the teacher.
I never knew it was going to be like this.
I was housing my neighbor, as I said, and he's an elderly person and got very agitated, very scared, wanted to take matters in his own hands. But so I had to be there consoling him as well as my family.
One of the teacher's daughters, who was among the 7 people rescued from the house, indicated that the water level was as surprising as much as it was stressful.
It was very stressful. It was very stressful because it's not something that we expected to happen to us. We were just in the house and we were wondering what to do. We were looking at all of our valuables and saying, all of these things that are probably going to get ruined. But at the same time, we're saying they're probably not going to get ruined because we still didn't expect the water to rise as high as it did, even when it was coming inside the house.
We never expected the water to reach to this house because this was always the house of refuge. So the neighbor would come here and stay to pass the storm or the heavy rain. It was a very traumatizing experience to see the water continuously rising, and I believe we underestimated it, and so it caught us by surprise.
Responding to the teacher's emergency call, fire personnel went to the residence and rescued all 7 persons during the passage of the Category 5 storm on Tuesday, the 28th of October 2025. Amateur videos of the extensive flooding and rescue operation have gone viral on social media.
Firefighters came maybe within an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So while we were waiting on them, the water was still rising. For the rescue, it's a ladder that they extended from right across there at the apartment and onto the veranda of this building. So they extended that ladder. They used also rope. They had life jackets on board. Whatever else, whatever other apparatus they used to assist them when they have cases like these, they had everything. I think they were well prepared.
It is not the first time that the area where the 3 houses are located has been flooded, but residents said it is the worst they have experienced. Persons have accused the neighboring developer of compounding the problem by way of changing the topography to facilitate construction. The occupants of all 3 houses that were flooded suffered massive losses, including furniture and other household items.
Well, so far, there is nothing that is saved. Let me put that now in tense. I had roughly 7 mattresses in this house, and all of them, they are no longer with us. They have no use. We have to throw them out.
Yes, man, the house, everything, man, everything done. Everything done, man, everything done, everything flood, Mavis. See what I'm going. Yeah, man, everything flood.
We're looking at not just water here. We're looking at mud. We have marl pit at the back of the house. So all of that marl dust came down with it. We're looking at sewage because all the main septic tank system, they were all covered with water. So we know that we have some mixing up going on there. So it's not like we can wash off anything and return it to our bedrooms. And so we just have to dispose of these things because we'll be setting up ourselves some more diseases than anything else.
Me have about 13 car flood right now. And me have to be responsible for all of them. Because the owner for them say, me dep on my own. You understand? So with this a flood you know, and what happen you know, me da love the flood, there's something for done about it.
With videos of both the massive flooding and the rescue operation going viral, the location is now like a tourist attraction.
I could estimate maybe about 3,000 to 4,000 people that have come here so far to witness the devastation, especially when the house behind me was completely covered. The houses, rather. Persons came, took pictures. I can think of maybe about 20% of those that inquired about those who lived here if they were all right. You know, but I thank God for those who came and those who were really concerned and came and gave us a hand and encouraged us and brought us breakfast and lunch and come back with dinner and all of those things.
When the beacon visited, persons from major non-governmental organizations, Missionaries of the Poor and the Lions Club were seen there looking at the spectacle while speaking with some of the victims. One woman, Donette Lewis, said it was her second trip there, adding that she used the opportunity to check upon the persons who had been affected directly.
We just have to come as a community and show love, just help in any way we can. And I implore the church family to just rally around those who have been affected by Hurricane Melissa. And we just have to show love and empathy.
Coming out of the frightening flood experience during what so far is Jamaica's most powerful storm on record, the teacher whose emergency call saved lives underscored the importance of preparedness, and it is not just about being prepared physically. As she would have proven, mental readiness is also vital.
You have to be mentally stable and you have to be ready. You have to have a fighting spirit that even if the water comes up to your nostril, you can't give up. That's the whole thing. You have to, if you are in a position where you are the person that is in charge, you have to be more mentally stable than anybody else in the house. Because to start getting flustered and put your hand on your head and start bawling will only traumatize others. Right? You have to be there to encourage, to make sure that everybody is stable. Because my children started to panic and cry and all of those things. But then I had to be there to say no, because we're not quitters.
In Mandeville, Manchester, I'm Horace Mills, thanking you for watching this episode of Beacon of Hope.